Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves. I almost let it slip out. Great Plains Athletic Conference action, but those were the old days, and that was back in 2016 as Nebraska Wesleyan left the Great Plains Athletic Conference for NCAA Division III and the American Rivers Conference. They and Coach Del Wellman have had a tremendous amount of success at Nebraska Wesleyan in NCAA Division III. And tonight they're playing what counts as an exhibition contest on their side of the ledger against a Dordt Defender team that is 3-0 at this point. The Dordt Defenders in their home whites, coming off a win over the Waldorf Warriors on Saturday night, while Nebraska Wesleyan playing in their season opener here this evening. Let's take a 2-minute break, and when we are back, we'll take a closer look at the Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves and the Dordt Defenders. All that comes your way on the Wireless World pregame show. We'll be back with more right after this 2-minute timeout.
Today's Dordt Media Network livestream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University. Thanks for watching.
Hi, my name is Lynn Marie Tremolian.
My name is Tyler Vanderwoon.
Hi, my name is Noah Zylstra. I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
I'm from Pella, Iowa.
And I'm from Springfield, Kentucky.
One of my favorite things about the Dordt Media Network is being able to go to various Dordt sporting events throughout the year.
My favorite part of the Dordt Media Network is being able to produce a quality live stream for people to watch at home.
Thanks for watching the Dordt Media Network.
And you're watching Dordt Media Network.
Thanks for watching the Dordt Media Network.
Welcome back to the DeWitt Gym. Let's take a look at Nebraska Wesleyan first of all. They are coached by Dale Wellman. They are coming off a year in which they went 16-10 overall, 11-5 in the American Rivers Conference. That is the old Iowa Conference, but with the addition of Nebraska Wesleyan, they have become the American Rivers Conference since the 2017-18 school year. And they were the NCAA Division III national champs back in 2018. They started last year 1-3 and 2-4 overall. Finished 2022 and then won 6 out of 7 games to start 2023. They were 10-2 in 2023 before losing back-to-back games to Co in the regular season finale in the American Rivers Conference quarterfinals, ending the season. This is a team that averaged 75 points per game last year, gave up 70. They shot 46% from the floor and allowed opponents to make 42%. Out-rebounded teams 36-34. Made 7.8 three-point baskets while allowing opponents to make 8.8. They converted 34% of their three-point shots and allowed opponents to make 34%. They also committed 13 turnovers per game and allowed 15.5 turnovers per contest. Key returning players, you've got Peter Lash at 21.3 points per game. He wears number 24. He's averaging 21.3 points per game. Landon Tornington returns 8.8 points per game with 4.2 rebounds. Jack Grodicke, 7.5 points per game, 3.2 rebounds. And Andrew Brewer, He's had 3.6 points per game last season. Those are the top 5 returners for Nebraska Wesleyan. They did graduate out 2 double-digit scorers in Carter Glenn and Andrew Walker. For the Dordt defenders, they have started this year 3-0. They got a win over Central about 10 days ago on a Friday night, October 27, 95-80, the score there. Then followed that with an 88-57 win over Dakota State. Dordt was a 105-75 winner on Saturday in Forest City, Iowa over Waldorf. The defenders will play 6 non-conference games before opening the GPAC season 1 week from tomorrow at home against Mount Marty. The defenders are scoring 96 points per game and allowing 71 points per contest. They are making 50% of their field goals, and opponents are making 36%. They are getting out-rebounded, are the defenders, 40-38. They have made 8.3 three-pointers per game while allowing opponents to make 9. They have converted 36% of their three-point shots while limiting opponents to 30% success. Turnovers, opponents are at 17 per game. Dordt is at 8.9. Top players for the defenders so far this season: Bryce Kopic, 23.3 points per game. He's a senior guard, averaging 4.3 rebounds as well, making nearly 60% of his field goals. Lucas Lorenzen is converting 19.7 points per game in his sophomore campaign. Ty Vanessen is at 8 points per contest with 8 rebounds. Connor Milliken is at 9 points per game with 2.2 assists. Ben Fairclough, 7.3 points per game, 6.3 rebounds. And Luke Rankin is at 9 points per game with 7.3 assists per contest. Jake Hargens has lifted his points per game average to 10 with 5.3 rebounds. Jackson Lusher is at 6.7 points per game with 4 rebounds. Dordt trails the series 11-10 since 2001. This is the first meeting between the two since 2016. The Prairie Wolves have won 2 in a row and 4 of the last 5. The February 24, 2016 game was a GPAC quarterfinal round contest that Wesleyan won in Lincoln 111-98 on the way to an NAI Division II National Championship berth. In that contest, Alec Henriksen scored 35 points. Knowlton Franken had 21. For Nebraska Wesleyan, here's a thorn in the side from years past. Trey Bardsley scored 44 points in that contest. Last time out for the defenders, they beat Waldorf 105-75 behind Lucas Lorenzen's 22 points. Jake Hargens had 15 points and 6 rebounds, and Bryce Kopic had 16 points. Luke Rankin had 12 points and 8 assists. Dordt was 39 of 78 from the field in that one and 10 for 21 from the three-point line. Let's take another 2-minute break, and we'll be back with starting lineups right after this.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And brought to you by 712 Realty, a team of realtors in Northwest Iowa with the drive, care, and the results you need to buy or sell your home. Visit them online at 712realty.com. Leading you home.
We understand how complex the financial landscape can be to navigate. Our goal is to free up your hands so that you can focus on what is most important in life.
This broadcast also brought to you by Vision Realty. We are polished, experienced, and professional, offering excellence every step of the way. We are the vision you can trust.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
And brought to you by Ployne Publishing, quality printing from design to delivery. Ployne Publishing.
Hi, my name is Samantha Wilbur.
Hi, my name is Philip Shippey.
Hey, my name is Eli Levtinsky from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
I am from Pregame, Iowa.
I'm from Sioux Center, Iowa.
Shout out to my family back home and my girlfriend for just supporting me throughout my college experience. It really means a lot.
My favorite part about working for this is making these promos and stuff that you see during commercial breaks.
And you're watching the Dordt Media Network.
And you're watching the Dordt Media Network.
Thanks for watching the Dordt Media Network.
Lineups for tonight's contest. We begin with the visitors from Nebraska Wesleyan and Coach Dale Wellman. Now this will not count as on the record for Nebraska Wesleyan. They will be playing this one as an exhibition contest, so it has no impact on their win-loss record. They will start Carter Glenn. He wears number 3. He's a 5'10 junior from Lincoln, Nebraska. Number 21 is Connor Brown, a 6'3 junior from Hawaii. Number 23 is Landon Torniton. He is a 6'6 senior from Council Bluffs, Iowa. He averaged 8.8 points per game last season. Peter Lash is a 6'6 junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. He averaged 21.3 points per contest. And Jack Grodecki wears number 45. He's a 6'11 junior from Johnston, Iowa, and he averaged 7.5 points per game last season. Again, for Nebraska Wesleyan, it'll be Glenn, Brown, Torniton, Lash, and Grodecki. For the Dordt defenders, they will start 0. Luke Rankin, a 5'10 junior from Grimes, Iowa, averaging 9 points per game. Bryce Kopic wears number 2. He's a 5'11 senior from Hayward, Iowa, averaging 23.3 points per contest. Number 3 is Lucas Lorenz, and a 6'4 sophomore from Milford, Iowa, averaging 19.7 points per game. Jake Hargens wears number 5. He's a 6'3 freshman from Greenville, Iowa, averaging 9 points per game. He prepped at Sioux Central High School. And number 35 is Ben Fairclough, 6'8 junior from Perth, Australia, averaging 7.3 points per game. Also in the regular rotation for the defenders, a 6-foot freshman from Springfield, Nebraska, Connor Milliken. He averages 9 points per game. Jackson Lusher is a 6'3 senior from Paulina, averaging 6.7 points per contest. And Ty Vanessen is a 6'5 sophomore from Sheldon, averaging 8 points per game this season. Again, for Dordt, it'll be Rankin, Kopic, Lorenz, and Hargens, and Fairclough for Coach Brian Van Haften. And that is going to do it for our starting lineups, and that is going to do it for the Wireless World pregame show. This pregame show brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer with 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. Visit them at wirelessworld.com. We will take a break, and when we are back, we'll have the opening tip. Dordt versus Nebraska Wesleyan, non-conference men's basketball play right after this 2-minute timeout.
This Dordt Media Network broadcast is brought to you by Sioux Concrete Construction, Rob Suin, owner, excelling in flat work, poured walls, decorative concrete projects, dedicated to providing customers with a good experience and quality workmanship. SiouxConcrete.com.
And brought to you by Huber's Plumbing and Heating. Whether you're looking for repairs, replacement, or maintenance for your air conditioning or heating system, Huber's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning in Orange City will exceed your expectations.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University. Thanks for watching.
American State Bank is celebrating our 50th anniversary, and we couldn't have made it this far without your support. For us, banking just scratches the surface. We pride ourselves in our commitment to our communities, building meaningful relationships with our customers, and doing our best to have some fun along the way. We're proud to be a locally owned and operated bank, supporting the communities we serve. Thank you for choosing American State Bank. We can't wait to see what the next 50 years have in store.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back to the DeWitt Gym on the campus of Dordt University in Sioux Center, Iowa. It's a busy week once again for Dordt Athletics. The Dordt soccer team in action this evening. The women's soccer team is at Hastings for a Great Plains Athletic Conference semifinal round contest. The winner advances on to the championship match. Hastings is the number 1 seed in the postseason tournament, and the defenders trying to make it to the conference championship match for the first time since about, I believe it was 2006 or 2007. Also coming up this weekend, Dordt basketball in Orange City versus a couple of non-conference opponents. They'll play Bellevue in men's basketball on Friday and Viterbo on Saturday. Women's team will also be playing a couple of games on Friday and Saturday against non-conference opponents as well. Also on Saturday, the Dordt football team at home versus Dakota Wesleyan, wrapping up the regular season in a senior day contest. And obviously hopeful that the defenders can follow up their victory on Saturday with another victory this week and try to get to 8-2 and finish up at least a tie for the Great Plains Athletic Conference final standings. Second place definitely in the mix if the defenders can hold serve at home this Saturday, but a lot to be decided yet. And nothing for cross country this weekend. They're at the national championship out in Washington a week from this Friday. So lots of things to tell you about as tonight progresses. The Dordt defenders in their home white jerseys, black numbers trimmed in yellow. For Nebraska Wesleyan, they're in their black jerseys with gold numbers, and they are trimmed in white. Jumping center for Nebraska Wesleyan will be Jack Grodicke. And jumping for Dordt will be Ben Fairclough. Both teams will defend the tip, and Dordt will control it. So Dordt gets it in the backcourt, bringing it up the floor is Luke Rankin. Rankin goes to Lorenzen. Lorenzen out front, Kopic. Kopic with the basketball, back to Lorenzen. Lorenzen with it, zone defense applied by Nebraska Wesleyan. Pass right side over to Rankin. Rankin short corner, Hargens. Hargens dribbles through Treasure, gets it over into the corner, Lorenzen, 8 to shoot. Kopic squares up, puts it up off the bounce, shot no good, and the rebound is controlled by Grodicke. Grodicke with the basketball, he gives it up to Carter Glenn. Glenn will bring it into the front court, so Nebraska Wesleyan open up in what looked like a matchup zone. Playing started with zone, but a lot of man principles on that first possession. Pass ahead to Kopic. Kopic layup with the right hand, no good. Rebound, though, cleared by Lorenzen in traffic. Shot no good, and the rebound controlled by Nebraska Wesleyan, and they will come back the other way. Nebraska Wesleyan with the basketball. Peter Lash. Lash with it out front. Lash spins out front, guarded there by Lorenzen. Passes it off. Nebraska Wesleyan with the basketball. Wesleyan has it on the right-hand side. Tornington. Tornington picks up his dribble. Tornington passes it off to Lash. Lash spin move, nothing there. Back to Tornington. Tornington up, no good. And the rebound weak side taken away by Kopic. Dordt doesn't have the numbers. The trailer is Hargens. Gets it back over to Lorenzen. Lorenzen in the air, back over to Kopic, right side. Kopic tries to feed it off to Lorenzen, driving into the lane, and it's taken back by Nebraska Wesleyan and Peter Lash. Shot blocked by Fairclough. Outlet pass Rankin. Rankin ahead to Hargens. Hargens will drive in. Hargens reverse layup, good. Jake Hargens with the 2-point bucket takes the lid off of the basket for both teams, and the defenders lead 2-0. 2-0 our score, Wesleyan basketball. They pass it left side over to Brown. Brown puts it on the deck at the elbow, lost it, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Brown. It will be Dordt basketball. So Dordt with the basketball after Nebraska Wesleyan turns it over. A couple of turnovers early on by the Prairie Wolves. Bringing the basketball into the front court, rifle it underneath Fairclough. Fairclough had Hargens open momentarily, a little late on the pass, and now tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Nebraska Wesleyan. It will be Dordt basketball. Hargens comes up holding that finger. Looked like he took that one straight on, might have sprained it. Looks like he's trying to work it out. He's on the left hand. Rankin throws in over the top, finds Kopic. Kopic off the dribble. Bounce pass inside to Hargens. Hargens puts it up and it's blocked. And the rebound cleared by Nebraska Wesleyan. So Wesleyan has the basketball, trailing 2-0. Nebraska Wesleyan into the front court. With it on the right-hand side is Brown. Brown with the basketball. Brown with it on the wing. Brown gives it back over to Tornington. Tornington right side three, missed, no good. And the rebound is tipped out of bounds. Rankin had it. It was poked away by Carter Glenn. It'll be Dordt basketball. After the rebound tipped out of bounds. And the Dordt defenders will have the basketball. Bringing it up, they pass over to Lorenzen. Lorenzen with it. Lorenzen comes back over to Rankin. Rankin at the free throw line. Rankin up in the air, back over to Lorenzen. Three from the corner, good. Lucas Lorenzen with the three-point basket. Dordt trying to attack the gaps against this zone defense. Right side pass, it goes to Lash. Lash with the basketball, guarded by Lorenzen. Lorenzen forces him to give it up. Passes over to Brown. Brown with the basketball, back to Lash. Lash underneath. And the basket good for Connor Brown on the drive into the lane. Brown makes it 5-2. Turnover by the defenders on the other end. Coming back the other way, Glenn. And Glenn loses it on the way up. Out of bounds, last touch by Dordt. It will be Nebraska Wesleyan basketball. So Nebraska Wesleyan with the basketball inbounding. Left side of the lane. They throw it in. They spin it in on the elbow. Underneath it goes to Tornington. Tornington to Glenn. Glenn pull up from 17 off the front iron, no good, but there for the rebound and the putback. Shot no good. Fairclaw comes out with it. Couple of bodies on the floor. Hargens with the basketball into the front court. Hargens shovels it off to Kopic. Kopic on the right-hand side. Kopic to Fairclaw. Fairclaw to Lorenzen. Lorenzen with the basketball to Kopic. Kopic on the right-hand side. Kopic rolls it to Hargens. Hargens, Fairclaw reverses back into the corner. Rankin. Out front, Kopic. Kopic, Hargens. Hargens in the paint. Kick out pass. Lorenzen, another three. That one's too strong. No good from the wing. And the rebound is cleared by Jack Grodecki. 4 minutes into the contest, Dordt leads 5-2, courtesy of a 2 and a 3. Connor Brown into the paint. Brown's pass taken away by Hargens. Hargens to Rankin. Rankin spins it back over to Lorenzen. Lost it on the way up. Picked up by Hargens. Hargens off of the glass, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Nebraska Wesleyan. Wesleyan shot off the paint glass, good. Carter Glenn with a 2-point bucket, and the defenders trail lead 5-4, but a foul out front. Foul called on Landon Tornington is his first. With it on the left-hand side, Dordt will inbound the basketball. New players checking in. Vanesson is in for Fairclaw. Milliken is also in the game. He will check in for Hargens. So Lorenzen, Kopic, and Rankin all stay on the floor. Throwing the ball in, Rankin. Rankin gets it out front, sets himself, drive into the lane. Short shot, no good, but a foul on the play. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot two, will Bryce Kopic. Well, Dordt's trying to get into the lane. Foul called on the play. That'll go on Andrew Brewer. That's number 1 on him. Team foul number 2 on Wesleyan. Bryce Kopic to shoot a couple of free throws. First one on the way is up and rolls it in. So Kopic makes the first one. He's got another one coming. Second free throw on the way for Bryce Kopic, trying to make it a 3-point lead. And Kopic's shot is good. Bryce Kopic with 2 free throws, and the defenders lead 7-4. 7-4, Carter Glenn with the basketball. Glenn gives it up to Thatch. Thatch out front. Thatch goes over to Newton. Newton with the basketball. Newton goes back over to Thatch. Thatch into the paint. Nothing there. Kick out pass left side. Lash. Lash with it. Guarded by Lorenzen. Lorenzen trying to keep him from getting the ball back. 3 from the top of the key. Missed, no good. And the rebound is cleared by Wesleyan off the missed shot. Goes back over to Glenn. Glenn on the right wing beyond the 3-point line. Comes back over to Lash. Lash with the basketball. Lash, the leading scorer for this Nebraska Wesleyan team last year at over 20 points per game. Lorenzen defending him. Roll it down low for Newton. Newton against Lusher. Turnaround hook shot on the right baseline is good. So Newton with the 2-point bucket. Dordt quickly into the front court. Newton with his first field goal at 7-6. 7-6 our score. Lorenzen with it out front, and it's poked away by Nebraska Wesleyan. So Nebraska Wesleyan pokes it away. Dordt basketball back. Milliken against the zone. Comes back over to Kopic. 3, missed, no good. Rebound tipped and controlled by Wesleyan. Nebraska Wesleyan up and running. Pull-up jumper from the left wing, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Kopic. Kopic with the basketball. Spin move. Gets away from the defender. Pass back over to Lorenzen. Lorenzen 3, no good. Coming out on the run out. Long rebound, Carter Glenn. Glenn with a layup. Right hand good. And Carter Glenn gives Nebraska Wesleyan their first lead of the contest. He's got 4, and the defenders trail 8-7. Lorenzen high post pass. Lusher underneath to Vanessen. Vanessen in the paint. Vanessen with a putback. Ty Vanessen had it blocked, gets it back, and finishes with the short shot. So the short basket pass comes out front. With it is Newton. Newton with it on the right wing. Newton with the basketball. Newton setting the offense. Dordt with a 1-point lead. 13-12 left to play in the first half. Newton with the basketball. Seth Newton in between the circles. He comes back right side with the basketball, and we've got a hand check called on Lucas Lorenzen. For Lorenzen, that is foul number 1. So 9 to 8 hour score. Set the shot clock to 20 seconds. And Nebraska Wesleyan has the basketball. Peter Lash. Lash with it. Lash throws it underneath. Lash gives it up to Thatch. Thatch kick out pass. 3, missed, no good. And the rebound Hargens. Hargens, Vanessen. Vanessen the trailer. Milliken back to Vanessen. Vanessen too strong with the layup. And the rebound controlled by Nebraska Wesleyan. Dordt missing some short-range shots so far. Nebraska Wesleyan challenging defense. Matchup zone, something Dordt doesn't see a ton of. Now the shot inside, blocked by Lash. Put up by Lash, blocked by Hargens. It is Wesleyan basketball. Jared Townsley to throw it in right side of the lane as we face the hoop. Townsley throwing it in. Townsley comes back out front to Lash. Lash gives it up to Townsley. Townsley back out front. 8 to shoot. Trying to run a clear out for Seth Newton. Goes right side. Dump it down into the post. Comes back into the paint. Short jumper. Hangs on the rim and falls through. Andrew Brewer with the shot clock beater. And the Dordt defenders lead 10-9. Shot no good. Trail 10-9, I should say. Kopic in the paint, and Kopic is fouled as he takes it in among the trees. Foul's going to go on Nebraska Wesleyan and Andrew Brewer. That's number 2 on him. Bryce Kopic to the free throw line. And Bryce Kopic, free throw is up and good. Another free throw on the way for Kopic. Dordt getting a little tentative around the rim. And that is translated into Nebraska Wesleyan hanging around in this one. Dordt so far from the floor just 3 for 12, 1 for 5 from distance. Second free throw by Kopic is good. And the defender lead is 11-10. 11-10. Dordt on defense now. Nebraska Wesleyan bringing it up. This is Jared Townsley. Townsley driving in. Townsley shot blocked from behind by Fairclaw. Here comes Dordt. Up and running. Rankin ahead to Hargens. Hargens fires it back outside for Milliken. Milliken kick out pass. Rankin free throw line underneath Hargens. Hargens shot no good, but he's fouled on the play. Foul's going to go on Seth Newton. Jake Hargens will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. So Hargens will shoot a pair of free throws with Dordt leading 11-10 right now. 2 free throws coming. First one is up and good for Jake. Freshman from Greenville, Iowa. He's got 3 points, and the defender lead is 12-10 pending another free throw. So the second free throw on the way for Hargens. And Hargens makes them both. He's averaging 9 points per game. He's got 4 so far tonight. 13-10 defenders by 3. Jared Townsley takes it across the half-court stripe. Townsley goes left side to Torniton. Torniton with the basketball. Torniton to Newton. Newton right side. 3 on the way. Missed, no good. Rebound deflected, picked up by Rankin. Rankin baseball pass over the top. Fairclaw gathers himself. Kick out pass, Milliken. Milliken at the free throw line. His floater from 10, good. Connor Milliken with a 2-point bucket makes it 15-10 defenders. Dordt right now on a 6-0 run, courtesy of 4 free throws and a field goal. 10:58 and counting, first half. Dordt with the Nebraska Wesleyan basketball. Thatch feeds it left side, Newton. Newton underneath. Kick out pass into the corner. Driving in, ball poked away, and coming up with it for the slam dunk is Jack Grodecki. Grodecki picks up the loose basketball, ends the Dordt run at 15-12. Lusher back outside Milliken. Milliken, Rankin. Rankin, short corner, Hargens. Hargens with a left hand, good. Jake Hargens with 6. Dordt leads 17-12. 17-12 defenders. Wesleyan basketball bringing it up. Townsley met there by Rankin. Bounce pass out front to Newton. Newton with the basketball. Newton squares up. He'll put up a 3. Missed it. No good. Rebound Hargens. Hands it off to Rankin. Dordt has numbers. 4 on 3. Trailer Milliken inside Hargens. Hargens kick out pass. Milliken 3. Right wing. No good. Rebound controlled by Wesleyan. Dordt leads 17-12. We're midway through the first half. Pretty much non-stop basketball right now. Not much stoppage in play in terms of turnovers right now or fouls. Just a total of 5 fouls called through the first 10 minutes and 20 seconds now. Right side pass to Thatch. Thatch with it on the wing. Thatch gives it up Torniton. Torniton in between the circles. 5 to shoot for Wesleyan. Torniton gives it up. Desperation shot by Newton at the horn. No good. Rebound taken down by the defenders and Hargens. Hargens ahead it goes to Rankin. Rankin, Milliken. Bounce pass inside. Lusher double teamed. Lusher is tripped up from behind. The foul's going to go on Wesleyan. And Elijah Hatch, I believe. Thatch, that is. Thatch whistled for the personal, his first. And then we have a timeout on the floor. This will be a timeout charged to Nebraska Wesleyan. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 1 minute.
Thanks to these Dordt Media Network sponsors, Ski Bout Window and Door, your local window experts. Whether building or replacing, we have the products, people, and knowledge to get the job done right. See Ski Bout and see the difference. Ski Bout Window and Door.
Thanks to M&H True Value. Behind every project is a true value. Start right, start here. M&H True Value.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Nebraska Wesleyan uses their first time out. Today's pregame and postgame shows brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer with 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. Visit them at wirelessworld.com. Inbounding the basketball will be the defenders after that foul call. That's foul number 5 on Nebraska Wesleyan already. And the defenders not quite in the bonus yet. Throwing the ball in left side of the lane as we face the hoop will be Rankin. Rankin looking to toss it in. Rankin gets it into Kopic in the corner. Bryce with the basketball, 20 to shoot, now 17. Got the 20 seconds on the foul call. Milliken out front, back over to Rankin. Rankin into the lane, back over to Kopic it comes. Kopic in the paint, he puts it up, shot is blocked, and the rebound is controlled by Carter Glenn. Glenn driving the other way. Glenn throws it, and we've got a foul called on Luke Rankin on the drive. That's going to be number 1 on him. Team foul number 2 on the defenders, and Dordt will defend as Nebraska Wesleyan inbounds the basketball. Wesleyan throwing the ball in. With it is Brown. Brown on the left side. Brown comes back over to Torniton. Torniton with it in between the circles. Torniton with the basketball. Glenn has it out front. Dordt pokes at it with Kopic, and a reach-in foul called on the defenders on the drive. That's going to go on the defenders and Connor Milliken. That's number 1 on him. Team foul number 3 on Nebraska Wesleyan. On the defenders. So Wesleyan, nowhere close to the bonus yet. We'll keep an eye on it, though. Pass comes out front to Brown. Brown over the basketball. Gives it up left wing. 3. Good. 3-point basket for Peter Lash, averaging 21.3 points per game last year. Dordt on the other end, and Lorenzen is fouled from behind. Foul goes on Torniton as his second, and the defenders will go to the free throw line to shoot with Lucas Lorenzen. Lorenzen to shoot a pair. 17-15, Dordt leading by 2. So Lorenzen will go to the free throw line. He will shoot 2 free throws. That's foul number 2 on Torniton. Free throw by Lorenzen is up and through. So Lucas Lorenzen with 4 points. Another one on the way. Defenders have gotten several shots in the paint, just haven't been able to finish up to this point. Shooting just 28% from the floor. That's not common, not typical for the defenders. Second free throw by Lorenzen is good. Dordt, though, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Defenders leading 19-15 as the defenders trying to pound it into the paint right around the hoop, and they've been able to draw some fouls. Had some challenges, though, putting the ball in the basket. Pass goes down low, 18 to shoot for Wesleyan. And a travel, no call made, and Lucas Lorenzen comes away with the basketball. Lucas into the front court. Comes over to Fairclaw into the corner, Hogsma. Shane Hogsma with it. Hogsma's pass is taken away. Here comes Nebraska Wesleyan. Wesleyan, the trailer, and the ball stripped by Rankin. Rankin with it. Rankin lost it. Now it's down on the floor, and a jump ball called. Alternating possession. It will be Nebraska Wesleyan basketball. So the defenders forcing a jump ball on the play. 7:49 left to go in the first half. Dordt leading by 4. And Nebraska Wesleyan will throw it in. This is Grodicke. Grodicke gets the ball inbounded to Glenn. Glenn with the basketball out front. Glenn comes right side back to Grodicke. Grodicke with it. Grodicke looking down low. Guarded there by Fairclaw. Bounce pass inside. It's taken back by the defenders. Here comes Lorenzen ahead to Rankin. Rankin into the paint. Stops at the free throw line. Rankin with it. Back outside Hogsma into the corner. Lorenzen back out front. Rankin. Spot up 3. Good. Luke Rankin with the 3-pointer from the top of the key. Dordt leads 22-15, matching their biggest lead of the ball game at 7. Wesleyan basketball out front. Connor Brown. Brown gets it back left wing. 3 short, no good. Rebound taken away by Kopic. Comes back over to Rankin. Rankin with the basketball. Luke with it out front. Right side Kopic, and a foul called against Lucas Lorenzen. Lorenzen whistled for his second personal foul as he comes into the front court and gets whistled for the offensive foul away from the ball. It's team foul number 4 against Dordt, foul number 2 against Lorenzen. So Lorenzen on defense now, the defenders bringing it up as Glenn. So Lorenzen got called for that personal foul. Shot in the paint, short shot by Glenn. I beg your pardon, that was Connor Brown instead of Carter Glenn. Kopic back out front, comes over to Hogsma. 3 from the wing, good. Shane Hogsma, the senior from Gilbert, Arizona, knocks down the triple. And the defenders lead by 8, 25-17. So Hogsma checks into the ballgame, knocks down a 3 from the left wing. Grodicke will put up a 3, short, no good. Wesleyan content to shoot 3s, and so far they haven't knocked them down consistently. Hogsma back out front, ball deflected, and it's picked up by Rankin in the backcourt. Rankin will bring it up the floor. Luke with the basketball. Shot clock is at 15. Rankin, nothing there, and the ball stripped. Coming away with it is Glenn. Glenn with the basketball. Glenn short arms the layup, but there to clean it up, Nebraska Wesleyan. And Peter Lash, he's got 5, and the defender lead is 25-19. Lorenzen with the basketball. Lorenzen in the corner. His pass is taken away, and Dordt turns it over. 5:41 left to play. Ball taken back by Vanessen. Vanessen outlet to Rankin. Rankin comes back to Lorenzen, and Lorenzen is fouled on the play, and it'll be a 1-and-1 for the defenders. Lucas Lorenzen will go to the free throw line to try and convert on the 1-and-1. Dordt leading by 8. A little sloppy with the basketball. 7 turnovers already on the defenders in this half. Nebraska Wesleyan with 6. Rebounding, Dordt a 16-14 rebounding edge. Free throw on the way for Lorenzen. Left it short, and it rolls in. Lorenzen gets the shooter's bounce. He's got 6 pending a free throw. Kopic shooting a free throw. It's up. Lorenzen shooting a free throw. It's good. He's got 7. 27-19 our score. Wesleyan with the basketball. Pass goes left side. Thatch. Thatch with it. Thatch goes over to Grodicke. Grodicke to Glenn. Glenn pass underneath. Shot is up on the rim, no good. Rebound controlled by Lorenzen. Lorenzen with the basketball. 8 points. The lead for the defenders. Lorenzen very nearly throws it away. Kopic drives in, and Kopic takes it in, draws contact, but no call made. It's 27-19. 5 minutes left to go here in the half. 27-19, throwing it in. They get it into Vanessen, and Vanessen is fouled on the way up. So Ty Vanessen will go to the free throw line. And Peter Lash called for the personal, his first. Ty Vanessen will go to the free throw line. He will shoot 2 as he was fouled in the act of shooting. Vanessen, a 78% free throw shooter. First one is good. Trying to extend it to a 10-point ball game. 3 points now for Vanessen. Another one up. This one's too strong, no good. Dordt's got their biggest lead of the game at 28-19. Shot on the way from the other end. 3, no good. Rebound controlled by Vanessen. Vanessen over to Kopic. Kopic up the floor. Gets around his man, lays it up with the right hand, no good. Rebound controlled by Vanessen. Vanessen with the basketball, and Vanessen is fouled on the play. And Vanessen will go to the free throw line. That's going to be a foul called on Grodicke. That's number 1 on him. 28-19, Dordt up by 9. Free throw by Vanessen is good. Extends it to a 10-point difference. First time Dordt has led by 10 tonight. Second free throw is up and good, and Vanessen makes them both. 30-19, defenders by 11. Wesleyan basketball, pull up Glenn. Glenn rolls it in from the free throw line. Glenn now with 6 by my count, and the defender lead is 30-21. With the basketball, Kopic. Kopic throws it over to Hargens. Hargens, Kopic. Kopic running point, picks up his dribble. Kopic, ball deflected, picks it up, gets it over to Lorenzen. Reversal, Vanessen. Vanessen to Hargens. Hargens tries to pass it off, and it's taken back by Wesleyan. Wesleyan with a chance to cut into what was an 11-point lead. It's now 9. 3 on the way, blocked. Rebound, Vanessen feeds it out front for Hargens. And Hargens trying to save it in, ends up off of his hip and out of bounds. It'll be Wesleyan basketball. On the floor for the defenders will be Lusher, Milliken, Rankin, Vanessen, and Hargens. Wesleyan has the basketball. This is Lash. Lash on the right-hand side goes over to Brown. Brown throws it down to Grodicke. Grodicke's shot no good. Rebound controlled by Rankin. Rankin fires it over to Milliken. Milliken in the paint, off the glass, good. Connor Milliken with 4, and the defender lead is 32-21. 3:27 remaining in the half. Dordt leading. Nebraska Wesleyan basketball. Three-pointer from the wing. Missed it. No good. Rebound controlled by Wesleyan. Shot off the glass. No good on the putback attempt. Peter Lash. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws. Foul called on Connor Milliken is his second. So Lash will shoot 2 with Dordt leading by 11. Lash, last season, an 81% free throw shooter, averaging 21 points per game. And free throws coming for Lash. First one for the righty is up and good. He's got another one coming. So Lash shooting free throws, makes the first. He's got a second on the way, trying to cut the lead down to 9. There you see Dale Wellman on the Nebraska bench. If you're watching via the Dordt Media Network. Both free throws made by Lash. He's got 7 points. Defenders for the basketball. Fairclough tries to feed it underneath, and the ball is tipped away. Last touch by Nebraska Wesleyan. It'll be Dordt basketball. Throwing it in will be Luke Rankin. Rankin to throw the ball in right side of the lane as we face the hoop. Luke with it. Luke looking, still looking, and throws it over the top. Finds Milliken. Milliken chases it down in the backcourt. 15 to shoot for the defenders as they bring it up. Milliken with the basketball. Connor, nothing there. Throws it back to Hargens. Hargens in the paint, and he lost it. Out of bounds, last touch by Wesleyan. It'll be Dordt basketball with 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 2:51 left to play in the first half. Dordt leading 32-23. Dordt tries to inbound it, and it's deflected. Rankin tried to throw it off of a player and get it back. Comes back over to Lash. Lash, short jumper, 12-footer, left baseline, no good. Rebound controlled by Milliken, and we have a foul on the rebound called on Grodicke. Grodicke whistled for his second, and Dordt will shoot free throws on the other end. Free throws on the other end for Ben Fairclough with 2:38 left to go in the first half. So Fairclough will shoot the double bonus here. Fairclough just his 3rd and 4th free throw shot this season. First one on the way is up and good for the Australian. He's got another one coming. Trying to extend it back to an 11-point lead. Second free throw for Fairclough is up and good, so Ben makes them both. It's Dordt with a 34-23 lead. Ben Fairclough with his first points of the day. He is the 8th player for Dordt to score. Right-hand side, Lash. Lash looking for the backdoor cut. Lusher guarding him. They throw it in to Lash. His shot fading away, no good. And the rebound tipped out of bounds by Nebraska Wesleyan. Isaiah Thomas got a hand on it. Nebraska Wesleyan poking away at it a lot. Pretty handsy, especially on the rebound. If you don't secure it cleanly, they will poke away. Dordt leading by 11. Rankin underneath. Intended for Lusher after the pass to Fairclough. Fairclough tried to go short corner opposite side. And the ball is kicked out of bounds by Nebraska Wesleyan. It's Dordt basketball. Rankin throwing it in. Into the corner, Kopic. Kopic sets, fires 3. Good. Bryce Kopic with 7, and the Dordt lead is 37-23. 37-23 our score. Wesleyan basketball. Townsley in between the circles. Townsley passes it right side Newton. Newton with the basketball. Newton pass over the top, and it's controlled by Wesleyan, and now they throw it away. It'll be Dordt basketball. Fairclough will throw it in after it was out of bounds. Last touch by Wesleyan. Dordt extending the lead to 14 here, 37-23. Dordt on a 5-0 run right now with the basketball. 1:40 left to go in the half. Right side it goes Milliken. Bounce pass into Lusher. It's tipped and controlled by Wesleyan. Wesleyan, Carter Glenn coming back the other way. Lays it up with the right hand. Good. Carter Glenn with 8. Dordt leads 37-25. 12-point advantage for the defenders with 80 seconds left to go in the half. Back to Kopic it comes. Kopic with the basketball. He's got 7 first half points. Kopic with it back out front. 16 to shoot. Kopic with it on the wing. Zone defense still applied by Wesleyan. That matchup goes back to Milliken. Milliken, Rankin into the corner. Fairclough. 3 from the corner. Missed it. No good. Rebound deflected out. Comes up with it Milliken. Rankin now driving in. Rankin tries to give it off to Lusher, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Dordt. It'll be Wesleyan basketball with 55 seconds remaining. Hargens will check in. Lusher will check out. So Dordt leading by a dozen. Xavier Van Beek checks into the ball game. And Nebraska Wesleyan's Carter Glenn brings it up. Glenn pull up from 17, good. Carter Glenn with a 2-point bucket, so back-to-back buckets by him. He's got 10. Dordt, 43 seconds remaining, leading by 10, 37-27. Hargens with the basketball. Hargens tries to pass it off, and it's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Wesleyan. It'll be Dordt basketball. Dordt led 17-12 at the end of the first 10 minutes. Dordt with it. 1-3-1 zone applied by Nebraska Wesleyan. Kopic has it on the left side. 13 seconds left to play in on the shot clock. Hargens down to the baseline. Hargens puts it up in traffic. Shot no good there for the rebound and the putback. Jake Hargens. Hargens with 8. Dordt leads 39-27. 13 seconds remaining. Wesleyan will hold likely for the final shot. Dordt does have a foul to give. 7 seconds left. Now 6 out front with the basketball. Looking for the pass down low. And we've got a hold called on Dordt. That's going to go on Luke Rankin, his second. Team foul number 6 against Dordt. So Wesleyan will now have an inbounds play underneath the basket. Baseline out of bounds, left side of the lane as we face the hoop. And Dordt's going to check Shane Hogsman into the contest. Hogsman will check in. Rankin will check out. And Wesleyan gets a player loose underneath. Seth Newton with a 2-point bucket, and the Dordt defenders a defensive breakdown on the inbounds play. Dordt leads 39-29 at halftime. Let's take a 2-minute break. 2-minute break coming your way. I don't believe we have dance team performance tonight, so let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with more from the DeWitt Gym right after this 2-minute timeout.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Beaver Eye Care, serving Sioux Center and the surrounding communities for over 30 years. Come see Dr. Paul Beaver, Dr. Dan Klausing, or Dr. Reese Beaver for all your comprehensive eye care needs. This broadcast also brought to you by Vision Realty. We are polished, experienced, and professional, offering excellence every step of the way. We are the vision you can trust.
Here we live between big city and small town, but we don't do anything halfway. We play in a community that's safe for families while providing our kids big city opportunities. We work in a place proud of its rural history that's already writing its future in science and technology. This is a place where we love our neighbors and where a small town is more like a big family. Sioux Center. Live life in the middle of everything.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University. Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
Joyner and Svort Dentistry, providing the latest in dental technology in a warm, comfortable, and relaxing environment. And brought to you by Ployne Publishing, quality printing from design to delivery. Ployne Publishing.
Today's broadcast brought to you by German Farmers Mutual, protecting the farm and home since 1981. Northwest Iowa's local insurance partner, online at germanfarmers.com. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today, serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
39-29 our score. The Dordt defenders with a 10-point lead at halftime. The defenders led most of the ball game, most of the first half. They led 7-6, scored the first 5 points of the game, led 7-6, and trailed at 8-7 and 10-9 before taking the lead at 11-10 as part of a 6-0 run that put them up 15-10. The defenders extended their lead to 8 and then eventually got up by 11 at 30-19. And right now it's 39-29 at halftime. Let's go ahead and run the highlights on the Dordt Media Network, and we'll take a look at some of the numbers, some of the high points. The defenders in this one, 4 of 10 on three-point shooting. 4 different players had 1 three-pointer each. Nebraska Wesleyan, they had some success with Carter Glenn. Also, Jack Grodicke had a field goal. He had 1 slam dunk. One of the 4 three-pointers for the defenders also came from Luke Rankin. Carter Glenn had 5 field goals in the first half for Nebraska Wesleyan. And Jake Hargens in the first half for the defenders. He ended up with 8 first half points. Dordt, 10 of 26 from the floor, 39%, 4 for 10 on threes, 40%, 15 of 16 from the free throw line for 94%. For Nebraska Wesleyan, they're 13 of 37 from the floor, 35%, 1 for 13 on threes, 8%, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line for 100%. Dordt with a 25-16 rebounding edge. The defenders with 12 turnovers. Nebraska Wesleyan with 7. So we are at halftime. Dordt and Nebraska Wesleyan. Dordt leading their old Great Plains Athletic Conference rival 39-29. Let's take a 3-minute break, and when we are back, we'll take a look at all the individual numbers for tonight's men's contest right after this 3-minute timeout.
Hello, Dordt University sports fans. Hope you're enjoying the game, whether you're a family or friend of a player or coach, or a fan of the university. Now, these players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice, and it shows. But there's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has: a game plan. And if these players and coaches are willing to put this much effort into a game, how much more important is a game plan for your financial life? Now, the financial world continually becomes more complicated, and we keep ourselves plenty busy. And even if we have precious free time, most of us don't want to spend it wrangling over financial decisions, reading financial journals, or studying the latest tax legislation. But if you don't have either the time or the desire to spend hours upon hours learning and keeping up with the changing rules of the game in the financial world, and then figuring out how that applies specifically to your financial life, you don't have to do it alone. For over 40 years, Money Concepts, the planning firm here in Sioux Center, has been helping households to build their financial game plan upon all the things in life more important than finances. Because there's things in life more important than money, and none of them are things. I'm Tom DeYoung, financial planner and president of Money Concepts, the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media, or schedule an intro meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. We'll help you build your finances on all the things in life more important than finances, while being a good steward of the resources God has entrusted to your care. And check out our Money Concepts radio podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com or on your favorite podcast app, where we dive into the relevant financial planning topics to bring clarity to the often confusing, ever-changing rules of the game in the financial world. Enjoy the rest of the game, and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money. And go Defenders!
Special thanks to all our Dordt Media Network sponsors. Volink Enterprises Incorporated, building homes for families and businesses in Northwest Iowa since 1962. Let's work together to bring your vision into reality. Volink Enterprises Incorporated. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Van Engelenhoven Agency, your trusted independent insurance agency throughout Northwest Iowa. Contact the Van Engelenhoven Agency's Sioux Center advisors Mark Holsoff or Lisa Dykstra.
Here are the halftime numbers. The Defenders led in scoring by Jake Hargens with 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocked shots. 7 points each for Bryce Kopic and Lucas Lorenzen. They also have 4 and 3 rebounds respectively. 5 points for Ty Van Essen off of the bench to go with 4 rebounds. 4 points for Connor Milliken. 3 for Shane Hogsman, 3 for Luke Rankin with 5 assists and 2 steals. For Nebraska Wesleyan, they are led by Carter Glenn with 10 points, 7 for Peter Lash, 4 for Connor Brown, 4 for Seth Newton, 2 for Andrew Brewer, and 2 for Jack Grodecki for their total of 29, that is. Peter Lash also with 5 rebounds, 3 steals each for Lash and Glenn. Grodecki with 2 blocked shots. Dordt leads Nebraska Wesleyan at halftime, 39-29. Let's take another 3-minute break and we'll be back with more for you at halftime. Dordt versus Nebraska Wesleyan. Non-conference men's play. Let's take a 3-minute break. Back with more right after this.
This live stream broadcast brought to you by Napa Auto Parts in Sioux Center, your source for quality automotive parts for your car or truck. Let them use their knowledge to help you find the right vehicle battery, brakes, filters, headlights, wipers, and other parts needed to get your job done. Napa Auto Parts in Sioux Center.
Thanks to Prairie Life Chiropractic, combining skill and expertise that spans the entire chiropractic, acupuncture, and physical health spectrum. They want you to move better and live better.
And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere.
We are at halftime, and the Dordt defenders trail Nebraska lead Nebraska Wesleyan, I should say, 39-29. The defender men 3-0 to start the year. This counts as an exhibition game for Nebraska Wesleyan. And the defenders will be playing again this weekend, a couple of games in Orange City. They'll play on Friday and Saturday, and then start conference play 1 week from tomorrow evening. For Nebraska Wesleyan, this counts as an exhibition contest, and they will open their season, I believe, this weekend in regular season play. Let's take one more 2-minute break and be back with the second half right after this.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University. Thanks for watching.
This Dordt Media Network broadcast is brought to you by Sioux Concrete Construction, Rob Suin, owner, excelling in flat work, poured walls, decorative concrete projects, dedicated to providing customers with a good experience and quality workmanship. SiouxConcrete.com.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Rental. Get ready to power up your projects with equipment rentals from Rental. From heavy-duty machinery to the latest power tools, they've got the gear to make your projects a success. Visit them online at rental.com or call 712-722-3928. Today's broadcast is brought to you by NewTek. At NewTek, they don't just sell equipment, they deliver performance, reliability, and innovation. Their team of experts is there to guide you every step of the way, ensuring you find the perfect equipment for your needs. Today's broadcast brought to you by the Grain House in Hull. They have amazing coffee, energy drinks, breakfast, lunch, and more. With a big city feel located only 10 minutes away in Sioux Center, they have a second location opening next year in Sanborn. Today's broadcast brought to you by Snyder Insurance and Financial Group of Sioux Center, offering life, health, Medicare supplements, annuities, and more. Trusted service and exceptional products with you in mind since 1973. Dordt basketball as we start the second half. Ball's down on the floor. Nebraska Wesleyan forces a turnover. It's Wesleyan basketball. Dordt has had trouble against this zone defense, specifically turning the ball over, especially close in around the hoop. Nebraska Wesleyan basketball driving in. Brown with the right-handed layup from the left-hand side. Good, 39-31. He's got 6 on the other end. Jake Hargens with the 2. Answering, he's got 10, 41-31. 41-31, Nebraska Wesleyan. Carter Glenn has it. Glenn gives it up right side, Grodeke. Grodeke with it on the wing. Grodeke with the basketball. He gives it up, Carter Glenn. Glenn at the free throw line. Glenn, pull-up jumper from 10, no good. Fight for the basketball. Grodeke gets it back underneath, point-blank shot. He's got 4. Dordt leads 41-33. Pass goes into Hargens. Hargens underneath Lorenzen. Lorenzen shot no good, but he's fouled on the play. Foul called on Nebraska Wesleyan, and Connor Brown to the free throw line to shoot 2 will be Lucas Lorenzen. Lorenzen has 7 points so far this evening. So Lorenzen with a couple of free throws. First one is up and through. He's got another one coming. He's got 8 points. 42-33, another free throw. This one is up too strong, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Wesleyan. Wesleyan throws it ahead. Thornton shot no good. Rebound cleared by Hargens. Hargens lets traffic clear, dribbles into the front court, hands it back over to Rankin. Rankin at the free throw line. His pass trying to thread the needle, and it's tipped and controlled by Wesleyan. Wesleyan has gotten the hand on a lot of passes tonight. Now the ball tipped away, and here comes Dordt back the other way. Lorenzen with it. Lorenzen loses the dribble, gets it back over to Fairclough. Fairclough into the lane, and Fairclough back to Lorenzen. Lorenzen shot no good. There for the rebound, though, is Fairclough. His shot no good. And the rebound is controlled by Wesleyan. Wesleyan basketball. Wesleyan driving in, and we've got a foul called before the shot. So Rankin whistled for the personal. That's his third. 17:56 left to go in the game. Throwing the ball in, Nebraska Wesleyan. Wesleyan to trigger it. Carter Glenn. Glenn's pass out front, picked up by Brown. Dordt with a 9-point lead. Wesleyan with the basketball. Tornington back over to Glenn. Glenn had 10 first half points. Gives it up to Brown. Brown puts it on the deck against Kopic. Lays it up with the left hand. Good. Connor Brown with 8 points. He had 4 in the first half, 4 in the second now. Dordt leads 42-35. Pass underneath to Hargens. Fires it back outside. Lorenzen 3. Good. Lucas Lorenzen with 11. Dordt leads 45-35. Now Kopic with the steal, puts it up, and he is fouled on the play. And Grodicke whistled for the personal. That's his third. And a timeout on the floor charged to Wesleyan. Dordt leading by 10. Bryce Kopic shooting free throws. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds. Today's broadcast is brought to you by NewTek. They're your partner for success when purchasing equipment for construction, manufacturing, ag, and other industries. Don't miss the opportunity to transform your business and redefine your productivity standards with NewTek. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Rental. Looking for top-notch rental equipment? Look no further than Rental in Sioux Center, Spencer, Storm Lake, and Sioux Falls. Rental, your regional equipment rental experts. Visit them online, rental.com, or call 712-722-3928. Bryce Kopic to the free throw line to shoot 2 as he was fouled in the act of shooting. First one is up and good. Kopic with 8 points, and the defender lead is 46-35. Another free throw. This one's up and rolls around and falls off. 46-35, defenders by 11. (46-35) defenders with the 11-point lead. Pass goes underneath, and it's taken away by the defenders. Here comes Kopic. Kopic with the ball right side to Lorenzen. 3, missed it. Too strong, no good on the baseline, and the rebound is controlled by Wesleyan. Wesleyan with the basketball. Glenn gives it up. Wing 3, no good. Grodicke with the offensive rebound and the putback, and he is fouled. Grodicke will go to the free throw line for the 3-point play opportunity. Foul's going to go on Jake Hargens. That is number 1 on him. (46-37) Dordt by 9. Grodicke makes the free throw. Grodicke with 7. Dordt leads 46-38. Right side, Lorenzen has it on the right wing. Lorenzen back over to Kopic. Kopic 3 from the corner, good. Bryce Kopic with the 3. Bryce now with 11. And driving the other way, getting the 2 is Carter Glenn. Glenn with a dozen. Dordt leading 49-40. Comes back over to Hargens. Hargens with the basketball. Hargens to Rankin. Rankin back out front. Goes into the corner, Fairclough. 16 minutes remaining in regulation. Comes back to Lorenzen. Lorenzen around the hoop. His shot spins off of the glass. Good. Dordt leads 51-40. So Dordt by 11. Wesleyan basketball. And Nebraska Wesleyan will walk the ball up the floor. Wesleyan with it. Carter Glenn. Glenn goes right side. This is Brown. Brown with it on the wing. Brown with the basketball. Gives it back over to Grodicke. Grodicke jumper in the paint. No good. Rebound deflected. Picked up by Fairclough. Comes over to Rankin. Rankin with the basketball. Rankin left-hand side intended for Lorenzen. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by Dordt. And Connor Milliken will check in. And Grodicke will inbound the basketball. Grodicke with it out front to Glenn. Glenn jumper in the lane, good. Carter Glenn with 14. And the defenders lead 51-42. Kopic in between the circles. Bryce with it. Bryce comes back over to Hargens. Hargens into the corner. Lorenzen. Lorenzen, nothing there. Now Lucas into the paint. Throws it over to Milliken. Milliken, Kopic. Kopic, wing three. Good. Bryce Kopic with the three. He's got 14. And the defender lead is a dozen, 54-42. Landon Torniton in between the circles. Torniton, left-hand side, comes back out front to Connor Brown. Brown shot in the paint, no good, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Grodicke. It will be Dordt basketball. Hargens inbounding, gets it into Kopic. Kopic with the basketball, and Bryce will bring it up. Bryce at the free throw line to Fairclough. Fairclough in the paint, back over to Milliken. Milliken with it, and a block called on Wesleyan. Dordt leading by a dozen, 54-42. Jackson Lusher will inbound the basketball. So Lusher will throw the ball in front of the Dordt student section. On the floor for the defenders, it is Fairclough, Hargens, Kopic, Milliken, and Lusher. Right side it goes, back over to Kopic. Kopic at the free throw line, nothing there. High post to Fairclough, outside to Milliken, so gets a ball screen, drives in, tries to dump it underneath for Hargens, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Dordt. It will be Wesleyan basketball. We're 5 minutes and 42 seconds into the second half. 54-42, Carter Glenn up the floor. Glenn has the basketball in between the circles. Glenn on the elbow. Glenn, jumper, missed it, no good. Rebound controlled by Brown. Brown, kick out pass, three-pointer. Glenn, no, decides against it, throws it cross court. Picked up now by Thatch, and stepping on the sideline out of bounds, Nebraska Wesleyan. It'll be Dordt basketball. Timeout on the floor, charged to Nebraska Wesleyan. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more in 30 seconds. Milliken to inbound the basketball for the defenders. So Milliken to throw it in. Gets it into Kopic. Kopic in between the circles. Goes left side back over to Milliken. Milliken with the basketball, right side Vanessen. Vanessen to Milliken. Milliken into the paint, nothing there, 15 to shoot. Now back over to Lusher. Lusher gives it up, Milliken. Milliken hesitates, off of the glass, good. Connor Milliken with the right-handed layup falling away, 56-42. Nebraska Wesleyan basketball. Glenn, ball poked away. Coming up with it is Vanessen. Vanessen over to Kopic. Kopic up the floor. Kopic throws it into the corner. Hargens. Hargens back over to Bryce. Bryce three off the heel, no good. And the rebound controlled by Nebraska Wesleyan. Wesleyan with the basketball. On the floor with it is Glenn. Glenn on the left-hand side, 7 minutes into the half. 56-42 defenders. Long three on the way. This one's up and good for Peter Lash. So Lash with the long three. It's 56-45. Kopic with the basketball in between the circles. He goes left side over to Milliken. Milliken with it back to Kopic. Kopic right side Hargens. Hargens reverses Milliken. Milliken mid-range jumper from 17. Good. Connor Milliken with 8, and the defender lead is 58-45. 58-45, Nebraska Wesleyan basketball. Lash. Lash on the right-hand side. Lash gets it back over to Brewer. Brewer dumps it off for Brown. Brown shot no good. So Dordt with a Baker's dozen lead, 58-45. Nebraska Wesleyan throwing the ball in. This is Keyshawn Bell. It's the first time we've seen him today. 10 to shoot for Wesleyan. On the right-hand side is Peter Lash. Lash beyond the three-point line. Puts it up, tried to draw some contact, and the ball deflected out. Vanessen gets it away to Kopic. Baseball pass ahead to Milliken. Milliken, right-handed layup, missed it, no good, and the rebound taken away by Wesleyan. Wesleyan up the floor with the basketball. Wesleyan has it. This is Thatch. Thatch with it. Thatch goes right side Newton. Newton with the basketball. Newton to Brewer. Brewer, three, missed, no good. Rebound taken away by Kopic. Kopic doesn't see anything that he likes for the time being. Now feeds the trailer Milliken. Milliken floater, no good. And the rebound controlled by Lash. And a reach-in foul called on Connor Milliken. Milliken whistled for his third personal. Team foul, beg your pardon, team foul. That's foul number 2. They're going to call that on Hargens instead. I had it on Milliken as his third. Instead, they go with Hargens, and it's his second. 58-45 defenders. 11:33 remaining. Bell has the basketball. Keyshawn Bell passes right side. They get it back over to Newton. Newton back over to Glenn. Glenn with the basketball. Brewer. Brewer. Left side it goes to Thatch. Thatch to Newton. Newton with it on the wing. Newton with the basketball. Dumps it down low for Brewer, and the ball deflected. Taken away by the defenders. This is Milliken. Milliken. Back out front, they throw it into the corner. Unable to control it is Lorenzen. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Dordt. It'll be Wesleyan basketball. So Dordt still leading by 13, 58-45. Bell has the basketball. Bell in between the circles. Bell gives it up to Newton. Newton gets a free. His layup good. Newton. I beg your pardon, that was Lash instead. Lash with it, not Newton. 24 instead of 4. Dordt leads 58-47. Right side it goes Milliken. Ball fake into the paint. Double team. Back to Lorenzen. Sets, fires three. Missed it. No good. And the rebound is controlled by Nebraska Wesleyan as we approach the midpoint of the half. 10-20 and counting. Bell with the basketball. Dordt led by 10 at halftime. They lead by 11 right now. Wesleyan looking to trim into the lead right now. Newton with the basketball. Newton gives it back over to Thatch. Ball's down on the floor, and Nebraska Wesleyan forces the tie-up. And it will be a jump ball, alternating possession, Nebraska Wesleyan basketball. So with 10:08 left to go in regulation, Dordt leads 58-47. 11 seconds on the game on the shot clock. 10:08 on the game clock. Nebraska Wesleyan throwing it in, trying to get it under 10. They throw the ball in out front. This is Newton. Newton backs it out. 5 to shoot. He's going to dribble up to the three-point line, throws it to Andrew Brewer, who can't hang on to it. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Nebraska Wesleyan. 14 turnovers on the Prairie Wolves. 10 minutes remaining. And bringing the ball up is Luke Rankin. Rankin with the basketball. Luke has it out front, goes to Milliken. Milliken with it, back to Rankin. Rankin to Milliken. Milliken to Vanessen. Vanessen with it. Vanessen's pass controlled by Milliken. Loose basketball. And getting the basket is Jackson Lusher. His first field goal. Dordt extends the lead back to 13, 60-47. 9:30 left to go in the game. Wesleyan basketball, Newton. Newton goes over to Bell. Bell with it on the wing. Bell with the basketball. Bell gives it up to Newton. Newton backing his way in. Kickout pass. Bell. Bell guarded there by Rankin. Bell into the paint. Short jumper from 10. Missed it short. No good. And Connor Milliken is fouled on the play by Keshawn Bell. Bell whistled for the personal foul in the backcourt. That's foul number 1 on him. Kopic, Hargens, Fairclaw in. Lusher, Vanessen, Milliken out. Dordt leading by a baker's dozen with 9:10 remaining in regulation. Dordt's led by as many as 14. I believe that's been their biggest lead. Lead by 13 right now. Rankin back right side, Kopic. Kopic into the corner, Lorenzen. Skip pass to Rankin. Rankin, Kopic, long three on the way, missed it. Wow, it bounces high off of the rim, off of the glass, and in. Third three for Kopic. He's got 17. And the defender lead is 63-47, 8:40 and counting. Newton with the basketball. Newton gives it up left side. Shot no good. Rebound controlled by Kopic. Ahead it goes to Hargens. Hargens stops. Left-handed shot good. Jake Hargens with a dozen. Dordt leads 65-47. 65-47. Bell with it in between the circles. Bell goes left side to Newton. Newton with it out front. Backdoor cut. Bell. Bell off of the glass. No good. Gets his own rebound back. Short shot good. Keyshawn Bell with a 2-point basket at 65-49 defenders. Moments ago they were up 18. They lead by 16 right now. With it on the left-hand side, Rankin. Bounce pass to Fairclaw. Fairclaw shot no good, but he's fouled on the play. Foul goes on Andrew Brewer. That's his third. First free throw on the way for Ben Fairclaw is up and good. Second free throw on the way for Fairclaw. He's got 3. Trying to extend it back to an 18-point lead. So the second free throw on the way for Ben Fairclaw. And Ben makes both free throws. 4 points for Fairclaw from the charity stripe. 67-49 Wesleyan basketball. High post pass, Brown. Brown turns, fires, shot from the perimeter, no good. Rebound Dordt. Dordt with the basketball. Rankin. Rankin driving in, lost it, picks it back up, gets it over to Fairclaw. Another 3 on the way for for Kopic, no good. Hargens with the offensive rebound on the tap out by Fairclaw. Comes back over to Rankin. Rankin to Lorenzen. Lorenzen, Fairclaw. Fairclaw bounce pass inside, intended for Hargens, and it's tapped away by Connor Brown. Connor Brown taps it away. Dordt, they get it into Hargens. Hargens shot in the paint, blocked. Rebound controlled by Fairclaw. Fairclaw back over to Kopic. 4 to shoot, now 3. Kopic gets it to Rankin. Rankin's long 3, no good. And with our score at 67-49, Dordt leading, 7:08 remaining in the game. Dordt with the lead. Wesleyan with the basketball. Pass goes underneath. Wesleyan ball. Peter Lash. Lash on the baseline and a foul called. Foul charged on Lorenz, and that's number 3 on him. Throwing the ball in will be Carter Glenn. Glenn gets the ball inbounded to Connor Brown. Brown with the basketball. Brown back out front to Glenn. Glenn scoops it up and he gets it to go. Carter Glenn, a wild shot, 16 points, and the defender lead is 67-51. And Rankin's going to be called for a blocking foul called on the defender. That's Carter Glenn. Dordt leading by 16, 67-51. 6:38 left to go in the game. Jake Hargens to throw the ball in. Hargens gets it into Rankin. Rankin with the basketball, fires it into the corner. Lorenzen 3, good. Lucas Lorenzen with the right wing 3. Dordt leads 70-51. Three-pointer on the other end, answering no. Rebound controlled by Hargens. Dordt has controlled the glass tonight, a 36-30 rebounding edge. They have turned it over 17 times while forcing 14. Kopic, ball fake, steps back beyond the three-point line, back outside to Rankin. Underneath it goes Fairclough. Fairclough into the paint, and Fairclough is held on the play by Grodicke. Grodicke is whistled for foul number 4. The defenders 9 of 20 from the three-point line tonight, 45%, 19 of 22 from the free throw line, 86%, 21 of 47 from the field for 45%. Ben Fairclough to the free throw line. Fairclough's free throw is off the heel, no good on the 1-and-1. Rebound, though, controlled by Rankin off the deflection. Rankin back over to Hargens, and Hargens is fouled on the play by Connor Brown. Hargens to shoot free throws. So 2 free throws on the way for Hargens. This one's up and good. $13 for Hargens. Dordt leading 71-51. 5:59 left to go. Second free throw is up and good for Hargens. Hargens makes them both. He's got 14. And the defender lead is 72-51. 72-51, Wesleyan basketball. Throw it into the corner, Grodicke. Grodicke 3, rims out, no good. Wesleyan just 2 for 22 from the three-point line for 9%. Lusher back to Hargens, right side Milliken. Milliken down to the block, cut off, back to Lusher. Lusher underneath, Lusher, hook shot, good. Jackson Lusher with 4. Dordt extends the lead 74-51, and the defenders now in control of this one. 5:20 and counting, ball game. Lob pass over the top, and putting it in on the set play is Carter Glenn. Glenn with 18. Dordt leads 74-53. Bryce Kopic with the basketball in between the circles. Kopic sets the offense, passes right side Milliken. Milliken back to Kopic. Kopic comes back, shoveling it off as Fairclough underneath. Left baseline. Lusher trying to get into the lane, nothing there. Now Milliken driving in. Milliken shot blocked, gets his own rebound back, shot blocked again, and now a jump ball called, alternating possession. It's Dordt basketball with 4:44 remaining. Jackson Lusher, left side of the lane as we face the hoop. Gets it underneath to Kopic. Kopic shot no good. Rebound is cleared. Coming back the other way. Shot no good, and the rebound tapped out of bounds. Last touched by Dordt. It'll be Wesleyan basketball. So Wesleyan with the basketball. So Nebraska Wesleyan with this trailing by 21. Pass out front. 3 on the way is good. for Peter Lash. Lash with his third three. He's got 15 points. Dordt leads 74-56. Left side it comes. They get it. And Lusher on the elbow tried to pass it underneath for Hargens, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by by Wesleyan. It'll be Dordt basketball with 4:18 remaining. They get it into Lusher. Lusher underneath. Reverse layup, good. Jackson Lusher with 6 points, all in the second half. Dordt leads 76-56. Pass deflected, picked up by Hargens. Gets it head to Lusher. Lusher on the breakaway. Lays it up with the right hand, good. Jackson Lusher with 8 points, all in the second half on 4 field goals. Dordt extends the lead 78-56. Wesleyan has the basketball down 22. They throw it into Grodicke, and it's taken away by Van Essen. Van Essen with the basketball gives it up to Kopic. Kopic with the ball. Bryce will take it up the floor. Bryce with the basketball in between the circles. Bryce, right side Milliken. Milliken, and he's going to be called for there's a foul called on the play against Wesleyan. Milliken will go to the free throw line, and he will shoot a 1-and-1. So the last 1-and-1 for the defenders. That's foul number 9 on Wesleyan. 78-56. Connor Milliken will shoot free throws. Milliken's free throw is up off the heel, no good, but a foul on the play, no. They say it was out of bounds, last touch by the defenders. It will be, last touch by Wesleyan, it'll be Dordt basketball, and a timeout on the floor charged to the Dordt defenders. Timeout on the floor. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 1 minute.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Snyder Insurance and Financial Group of Sioux Center, offering life, health, Medicare supplements, annuities, and more. Trusted service and exceptional products with you in mind since 1973.
To go in the game. Pass comes out to Hogsma. Hogsma to Milliken. Milliken with the basketball, 15 to shoot. Milliken is pass cross court, taken away by Peter Lash. Lash driving in, lays it up with the right hand, good. Peter Lash with the steal in the basket. Dordt leads 78-58. Left hand pass, it goes to Lusher. Lusher underneath. Van Essen. Van Essen's going to be called for traveling. Didn't hold his pivot foot on the ball fake. And now Nebraska Wesleyan has the basketball. Collins will throw it in. Collins has it on the right baseline with 3:05 left. Collins, pass deflected, and it's picked up by the defenders and Milliken. Milliken driving in. Milliken in traffic. Count the hoop, and he's fouled. So free throws on the way for Connor Milliken, the old-fashioned three-point play. (81-58), Dordt. With the basketball, Wesleyan, shot on the way, three-pointer is up and good. A three-point basket by Holmes. Rankin with the basketball. Rankin gives it up, gets a return pass, and we've got a foul on the play, and we've got a technical foul called on Nebraska Wesleyan. So a foul and then a technical foul. So Carter Glenn picks up the personal, his third, and then the technical foul, his fourth. Luke Rankin will shoot the technical, beg your pardon, that's foul number 5 on Glenn. So Glenn will foul out. So Dordt will shoot free throws with Shane Hogsma first. So Hogsma to shoot the technical fouls. First one is up and good. Hogsma with 4 points tonight. Another one on the way for Shane. This one's up and good as well. 80-61 defender, 83-61 that is. And Luke Rankin will shoot free throws. Another free throw opportunity, a 1-and-1. This one's up and good for Rankin. Rankin now with 4. And another one coming. This one's up and good. Rankin with 5 points. And the defenders lead 85-61. So Prinz is in now for the defenders. And Rankin will check out. Dordt with a pair of games coming up on Friday and Saturday of this week in Orange City. Keyshawn Bell in between the circles out front. Ball deflected out, picked up by Bell. Now poked at by Lusher, controlled by Wesleyan. Wesleyan with the basketball. Bell goes right wing to Collins. Collins with it, gives it up to Holmes. Swing pass over the top. Hogsma on the defense. Three-pointer up, no good. And air ball, and nobody got a shot up on the rim. So Dordt with the basketball, throwing it in will be Prinz. Loverud and Bohr will check in. Vanessen and Lusher will check out. Hogsma stays on the floor with 2:01 remaining. So Prinz will walk it up. Prinz left side to Van Beek. Van Beek to Prinz. Prinz high post. Bohr. Back to Prinz. Prinz right side Hogsma. Hogsma with the basketball. Hogsma gets it back. His 3 from the wing. That one's offline. No good. He had a 3 in the first half. Misses on that attempt though. Dordt's going to be held a little bit below their scoring average in all likelihood when this one's all said and done. 85 points for the defenders tonight. They're averaging 96. Shot in the paint, up and good. Turnaround on the block, Isaac Holmes. He's got 5, and the defender lead is 85-63. Dordt's going to win this one by about 20 the way it looks. Hogsma, pass intended for Bohr, tipped away by Bell, out of bounds. This is Prinz. Prinz with it on the wing. Prinz at the elbow. Prinz goes left side. Van Beek. Van Beek 3. Missed it long. No good. 1 minute left to play in the game. So Dordt with a 22-point lead. Wesleyan with the basketball. Townsley up front to Holmes. Holmes with it. Holmes gives it right side Bell. Bell to Townsley. Townsley left-hand side. Thomas in the paint. Backdoor play and a foul called on the play against Loverud, and going to the free throw line will be Isaiah Thomas for the three-point play opportunity. So Isaiah Thomas shooting a free throw. It's good. He's got 3. And the defenders lead by 19, 85-66. Prince intended for Bohr, and the ball tipped away. Last touch by Dordt. It'll be Wesleyan basketball. Well, Dordt's defensive average coming into the game tonight, 71 points. They've surrendered 66 right now. It's 85-66. With the basketball, Holmes. Holmes out front. Holmes goes to Collins. Collins. Ball's taken away by Hogsma. Hogsma with it, left side to Bohr. Bohr to Prince. Sawyer Prince with the basketball. Prince has it. And Prince will run out the clock. 66 our score. 85-66, Dordt by 19. That's your final. Dordt now 4-0, while Nebraska Wesleyan, this is an exhibition contest, will not count towards their final record. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back to wrap things up from the DeWitt Gym right after this. You're listening to Dordt Basketball on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. (85-66), Dordt with a 19-point lead as we close this one out. The defenders led almost the entire way and took the lead for good at 11-10 and led 17-12 at the midpoint of the first half, led 39-29 at halftime. Wesleyan never really able to put together any sort of run. Dordt got up 18, 67-49 near the midpoint of the second half and led most of the last 10 minutes by 20 points or so. They win it by 19, 85-66. The defenders, the final numbers. Well, let's go to the highlights first of all as we're into the Wireless World post-game show brought to you by Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer. 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. Visit them at wirelessworld.com. The defenders made as a team 9 three-pointers tonight. Lucas Lorenzen had a few of them. Count them up, he had 3 total, 2 in the second half. Lorenzen ended up unofficially with 16 points. Dordt was able to get some points in the paint. Finally got those shots to go as a team. Dordt 46% for the ball game. The one bright spot for Nebraska Wesleyan was Carter Glennie at 18 points. Jackson Lusher scored 8 points in the second half. Most of them nifty moves around the hoop. So the defenders win at 85-66. The final line for the defenders tonight: 25 points, field goals, 25 of 54, 46%, 9 for 22 on threes, 41%, 26 of 31 from the free throw line, 84%. Dordt with a 40-35 rebounding edge. Dordt committed 20 turnovers. Nebraska Wesleyan ended up committing 20 turnovers. For Wesleyan, they were 29 of 70 from the floor. %, 4 of 25 on threes, 16%, and 4 for 4 on free throws, 100%. The defenders led tonight by Bryce Kopic with 17 points, 16 for Lucas Lorenzen, 14 points for Jake Hargens, 11 for Connor Milliken, 5 for Luke Rankin, 4 for Ben Fairclough, 5 for Shane Hogsma, 8 for Jackson Lusher, and 5 for Ty Van Essen, for Dordt's total of 85 points. And we will halt our look at the numbers, and we will turn our attention to Shane Hogsma. Shane Hogsma, senior from Gilbert, Arizona, and Shane knocked down a 3 in the first half, ends up tonight with, I had you for 7. Was it 7 or 8? 5. I had you for a free throw. Okay, 3 and 2 free throws. There we go. I'll get it yet. And you can feel free to correct me, Shane. You can talk. The microphone's for talking into. Shane Hogsma, senior from Arizona. What's your role this year for this team? What are you trying to do for this squad?
Yeah, I'm one of the seniors, so I think my role is just being a leader. I take a lot of pride on the defensive end. Coach trusts to put me in to guard the best player, so I use a lot of energy on that end, and I just try to limit their best player, force tough ones, get a deflection, get tips, and then offensively, just be ready to shoot. We have a lot of good ball handlers on our team, so I mean, be ready to knock down a 3 if I get an open look.
And that's what you had in the first half. You got an open look. Any hesitation at all in pulling the trigger, or were you ready to take that shot?
Hadn't had a field goal attempt on the year yet, so I was pretty excited to get my first one up, and I was just glad to see it go in.
You are a senior from Gilbert, as we noted. What are you studying here at Dordt?
Yeah, I'm double majoring in marketing and finance. I've recently looked into becoming a financial planner after college, so yeah.
Okay, and any internships, anything like that? What's your path look like?
Yeah, this past summer I stayed in Sioux Center for the first summer for basketball and for work, but I had an internship at New Tech as an accounting assistant. Great experience there. Love the workers there. It was a great environment. Yeah, and just learned a lot. So.
How'd you end up at Dordt?
My parents grew up in Pella, and they both ended up actually going to Dordt. My dad played baseball. My mom played softball, and then both my siblings came up here for college, so just kind of followed the family path there.
And what's your semester look like? Is it a pretty heavy semester? What does it look like for you class-wise?
It's not too bad. I try to stay around 15 credits, and I try to give myself time to work out and get shots up and hit the weight room with a couple of my roommates consistently, so that we stay in shape, stay conditioned. But class-wise, it's not too heavy. I always try to keep it on the lighter side.
What drew you to those two majors? What went into your thought process there?
I've always been a people person. I love serving others, and I just thought business would be a great way to use my talents. I heard great things about Dordt's business department, and then I just thought it would be the best fit for me.
Shane Hogsma, thanks for coming up. Go ahead and hand the mic over to Coach Van Haften, and thanks for coming up. That's Shane Hogsma with our post-game interview tonight. Shane knocking down 5 points, a 3 and a couple of free throws, and Coach Brian Van Haften takes a seat beside me. And Coach Van Haften, your team took a little while to match. You're seeing some different teams. We talked about Central earlier this year presenting some things that you're not going to see. Very big team. Tonight, a team that really relies heavily on the zone defense with some man concepts into it, but a matchup zone. And it seemed like you had the right game plan, just some shots early on didn't fall in this contest.
Yeah, I thought offensively, we played just fine tonight, except for the fact that we had 20 turnovers tonight. It wasn't a good night. We weren't tough with the basketball at all, especially the first half. The second half, we were much better. we acted like, man, we're surprised that they're pressuring us, that they're attacking the basketball, and that's something we have to do better. And yeah, I mean, we need these games, right? I mean, it's good for us. I mean, this is the Division III way. A lot of those teams usually have a good big, you know, and that's what Nebraska Wesleyan has, what Central has, and you know, and so it's just a really good challenge for us tonight to really try to improve, get a little bit better. But I thought our defense was great tonight. I mean, they were doing a lot of their back cuts, and we just didn't get beat on the backdoor cuts very often tonight. And I thought our guys did a really, really good job defensively, especially in the first half. That kept us, you know, with a lead going into halftime.
You knocked down some shots. Shane Hogsma, one of those, and to me, it's gratifying when a young man like that who has stuck with it. He hasn't always had a lot of playing time. He was on the junior varsity for a couple of years, played important roles there. He stuck with it, hung with it, and those kind of players, they might not step into real big scoring roles or things like that, but you've got to find a role for them if they're going to stick it out for that long.
Yeah, Shane is just great. I mean, he is just so much bigger and stronger than what he was when he first got here. He is just very, very committed to this. He stayed here this summer, and like I said, the weight room has been good. He's a good defender. He just really worked on his confidence. I mean, his confidence is just so much better that, you know, he shot that basketball with confidence right there in the left wing, nothing but net. And, you know, I'm proud of him. I mean, really, like you said, we need guys like him in this program. We've had other guys like that, like Dustin Mara and other guys like that who just have really been wonderful for this program. And he's a great leader for us, too. And he puts things in perspective. He knows I can put him in there for a minute and a half, and it might be 5, but probably closer to a minute and a half sometimes. And he knows that. And he's handled it well.
Managed to rebound this team tonight, 40-35. We already talked about the turnovers, too many in a nutshell. I don't know, balanced scoring, 4 players in double figures. That's
got to the foul line a ton tonight.
Yes, you did.
It's always good to see. Anytime that you get to the foul line a ton like we did, and you know, that's pretty good. And you know, against the zone, I thought we handled it well.
Bellevue and Viterbo this weekend. Have you peeked ahead at all, or were you focused in on this one?
Well, you know, Bellevue is always good. They got good, aggressive, athletic kids, and this will be no different. They actually played the 2 teams in Phoenix this past weekend that we're going to play out there.
How'd they fare?
Yeah.
How'd they fare with them?
They lost to both of them by single digits.
Okay.
So they're off to a little bit of a rough start, but they have played a good schedule. I mean, they played Kansas Wesleyan to a 7-point game. So I'm very impressed with their team. They got a good shooting team, and they got a couple of bigs that are 6'9", 6'10", and so it'll be a good challenge.
How do you feel about the progress of the team through these first few weeks? I mean, conference play begins next week. How do you feel about the progress? I would imagine, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but up until tonight, you were probably feeling pretty good, and now tonight you think like, okay, saw some flaws.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think every game is going to provide some flaws for us. This is the first time we've actually turned the ball over.
Yep.
First time we've seen great length on the wings when it comes to a zone. And we handled that well. They blocked a few shots of ours, but we also got to the foul line a ton as well. You know, I'm really happy how our defense has transformed, right? I mean, we did a really nice job at Dakota State. We did a nice job against Waldorf. And here tonight, I thought we were really good defensively. I mean, we're competing, and you know, we just got to get Jake and Connor to just keep coming, right? I mean, they're young guys, and they're still trying to figure out how hard they got to play all the time.
We will see you this weekend. Friday for sure. Saturday, probably not. You're probably going to be playing when we're playing football in all likelihood. So we'll see you on Friday at the Boltman Center, and let's see if we can get a couple more this weekend.
You bet, Mike. Mike, we want to thank you for all you do, and you know, we just got awesome kids that are just you know, a lot of faith in these guys, and they walk around. They're good Christian young men, and they're going to be leaders someday in their communities, and it's an honor to coach them.
It's funny you bring that up. I was in a meeting earlier today, and our listeners probably say, well, big deal, you're in a meeting. But one of the questions I was posed to us as a group was, what's the strength of this university? I said, the people.
Absolutely.
And you naturally think of people you get to work with.
Yep.
Work with great coaches, administrators. Love that. But the students are drawn to it as well, and we get great opportunity. You've been at this a little longer than I have, but not much.
Yep.
We've had the opportunity to watch a lot of students, not just student athletes, but students. They show up as 17 and 18-year-olds, and they leave different people when they're 22, and that's just the beginning, in my opinion.
No doubt, Mike. And the thing about it is, everyone watches us play, Mike, and they see Luke and Bryce and Lucas, right? And they're amazed by, Ben Fairclough being 6'8", all that kind of stuff. What people don't realize is guys like Shane Hogsma, Tyler Prins, Xavier Van Beek, somebody like Ben Loverud. I mean, these are quality individuals. Man, they are great for our team, and they are best friends with all the rest of the guys. So it's really an honor to coach these guys.
I will let you go. See you on Friday. That's Coach Brian Van Haften, and I believe that's going to just about do it. Hey, we're watching that women's soccer game, and the Dordt women currently leading number 1 seed Hastings 1-0. Wouldn't you know it, Karina Tell got free for a goal off an assist from Ellie Stewart. See if the Defender women can hang on and get into the championship contest a little bit later on this week. The Defender men today, 7 assists from Luke Rankin, leading them in that category. Jake Hargens with 8 rebounds, 7 rebounds for Ben Fairclough, 6 for Bryce Kopic, 4 for Lucas Lorenzen, and 3 steals for Luke Rankin as well. For Nebraska Wesleyan, they got 18 points from Carter Glenn, 17 points from Peter Lash, 8 points from Brown, 7 for Grodicke, and 5 for Holmes. 9 rebounds for Lash, and he had 5 steals. That's going to do it for our broadcast. A thank you to Carson Schubert back at the KIHK studios, Sioux County Radio, and also to our Dordt Media Network folks. Thank you again for great work tonight. We will talk to you again Friday with basketball from the Bultman Center, women's and men's play, and we'll have football on the Dordt Media Network this Saturday as well. That'll be a 1 o'clock start time versus Dakota Wesleyan. That's going to do it. Thanks to everybody. For all those folks, I'm Mike Biker.